Hari, thank you so much for joining us on a brand new episode of 420 grams, and we are coming to the end of this ISL season क्योंकि अब बस एक मुकाबला बाकी है between the final now, मतलब for the final now, which is that one game where they'll play for the trophy of the ISL crown. And as things stand now, it's Bengaluru FC taking on ATK Mohun Bagan. Both teams going through to the final courtesy of the penalty shootouts. And it's the first time it's happened in the history of the ISL that you had two semi-finals decided on penalties. अभी हाल ही में थोड़ी देर पहले यहाँ पे एटीके मोहन बगान ने यहाँ पे हैदराबाद को लाया और कल बेंगलुरु ने over the space of 2 legs and then taking it to the penalties they beat Mumbai at home. Joining us on the show are Renedy Singh, we've got Siddhant Tani, and it's a full house क्योंकि हमारे साथ इशफाक अहमद भी थोड़ी देर में जुड़ने वाले हैं, तो सबसे बातचीत यहाँ करेंगे. रेनेडी भाई, I know the reference point is right now this 90-120 that we've seen right now at Yuva Bharati Kridangan, and Baichung भाई को काफी दिखाए जा रहे थे, अच्छा लग रहा था बाईचुंग भाई को देखकर. बट मैं कह रहा हूँ गोइंग फॉरवर्ड टू ATKMB वर्सेस BFC, it what sort of a contest do you expect to see? Because on the one hand you have a team that plays in a very particular way and has been doing so and is moving into the final now 11 games unbeaten, but on the other you have this team that really gave a solid display versus Hyderabad. Yes, okay, you didn't create much in the 6-yard box or inside, but before all around that they had full control of the game.
I feel, of course, I have got great respect for Manolo, what he has done for Hyderabad for so long. I have big respect for him, and we have been saying what a great coach he is. But today, Mohun Bagan were a better team. They have created more chances. Or 90 minutes में ही Mohun Bagan जीत सकता था. The chances that they have created, not many, but then it was pure chances जो खत्म कर सकता था. But again, we have to give credit to the Hyderabad boys for taking it to the extra time and to the tiebreaker. Yes, in tiebreaker, it's we all know that the best team can also fumble. But yes, it will be a great final for me. Both the teams were struggling at the start. BFC and ATK Mohun Bagan, and look where they are now. They are into the final. Everyone was criticizing about the players, about the coach, and look where they are. So your football, you never know, right? So it will be a great final.
Yeah, interesting. That's a lovely point that Renedy Bhai brought out, Annie Bhai, because the format of the league is such that while you keep on saying in a league you got to chase top, and you get the shield. Yes, you do get the shield, but eventually you say, okay, let me be in the top 6. No problem, buddy. Because उसके बाद तो lottery अपने हाथ में है, playoff का आ गया सामने आपके.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's why it's so great. And there are 11 teams in total, right? So उस दिन हम जब डिस्कस कर रहे थे कितना पेनल्टी, काफी पेनल्टी है, तो आप लिटरली आप 5 पॉइंट्स, बिकॉज आप कितना 20 गेम खेल रहे हैं, राइट? सो 5 पॉइंट्स मेक्स द डिफरेंस बिटवीन हैविंग अ सीजन दैट मींस नथिंग एंड वेयर यू हैव अ चांस टू मेक इट ऑल द वे टू द फाइनल्स. आई मीन it's amazing. That's what makes it, I guess, a league that goes down to the wire every time. Yeah. And this time I think, like, I don't know how much testament it is to the fact that we are playing better defensive football or there's more organization or whatever. They weren't like, it wasn't the best of games today. It wasn't
better defensive football or the fact that you're just squandering or not creative in that box. Because for me, it seemed a little more of that. कि you seemed a little out of ideas. आपने काम तो कर दिया, ठक 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 ठक, बट यहाँ पे अब आपका दिमाग कैसा चल रहा है, कितनी जल्दी चल रहा है, वो दिखा नहीं ज्यादा वहाँ पे.
वही स्क्वायर पासिंग काफी है, like the direction in which the game is going, there's a tendency to let it go in that direction until some kind of event happens that kind of changes the flow a bit. So some of those things are there, definitely. And yeah, again, for a knockout game, I guess it's expected that it will turn out like this. I mean, there were some bits that were quite exciting where you was like, okay, not bad. Chances, open football, both teams are trying to play, do something. But then when you like kind of look at it from the whole 120 minutes perspective, how much time is spent just playing the ball square, then you're kind of like, I don't know, maybe a little more sense of purpose would be a productive thing to bring to the table at this stage of the league. Especially when, like, then you go home with not much or nothing at all.
I guess it's a work in progress now, bhai.
Yeah,
Because for me, honestly, the one good thing was when I saw the young boys who've come on for ATKMB. I know Ashish Rai is not a newbie. Sir, आ गए, oh, ho, ho. बड़े दिन बाद. But good to have you, Ishfaq. We're just talking about these young boys who were part of the teams. Ashish Rai is not a young player, but Renedy bhai, how good was that boy today? Matlab, just see the crosses and the deliveries that he was doing, tirelessly moving up and down the right flank. That boy looks so good for ATKMB.
Yeah, but he has to do. I think he has been playing well, and he is a former player of Hyderabad, and he knows the player well, and he had to prove a point. But if you see the chances that created, Siddharth ne bola ki, it was a tough game. Yes, it was a tough game. Both the team were cautious, but then the chances that Manbir had hit the bar, the chances आपने आशीष ने जो cross किया, Bumu को मिला, and it should have been a goal. And Namte, what a curler it could have been. It just missed by a whisker. And those kind of chances, I think Mohun Bagan created more chances, and it would have been 3 or 4 goals. And a free kick, the defenders just couldn't head on target. Head करने से goal का अंदर है. So Mohun Bagan, I think they have created good chances. It's just that they couldn't put inside the goal. But yes, the whole team. Yeah.
No, sorry, Renedy.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
No, Ishfaq, I heard a comment during, I think, commentary पे Eric या Pulasta बोल रहे थे, where Juan Fernando has said, not 80 MB to play the kind of football I am known for, and what you brought me in for, you'll have to give me at least 3 to 4 years. Sir, 3 to 4 years कहाँ से आपको मिलने? मैं तो ये 3 से 4 साल कहाँ मिलने वाले हैं आपको इस लीग में? आपको तो ठक करना पड़ेगा, probably 2 years. उसके बाद से तो फिर reverse clock शुरू हो जाता है.
Well, we always, right now the word process is quite famous because Mikel Arteta is doing fantastic job at Arsenal, because he always believes that, playing good football. Like when we talk about giving some time, I think from the second season upko, you have to start delivering. Maybe the first, and then third onwards, you have to be, show the consistency to be in top 4. But as Renedy Bhai said right now, I think what football he probably was playing in Goa, because maybe Goa is playing, they take a lot of risk. They play that build-up game, which we all know, but that's what they are known there. And I think he was doing quite similar there. But over here, you need similar kind of players. You cannot have it everywhere. And in a way, he's right. Give him some time. But 4 years in Calcutta clubs is too much to ask for, actually. So, but he's there now, right now in the, in final. I think it's going to be a good match between two good teams. And as Renedy Bhai was also mentioned, they had a upper hand, especially in second half. They dominated. Even when I was listening to Coach Manolo also, so he said the same. But Hyderabad, you have to give them, a lot of credit. They kept clean sheet. They still, were there playing, and even in tiebreaker, when we thought that it's over, but it still went to the 5th penalty. It was like getting really close. So Hyderabad from 2 seasons has been brilliant. Even in league matches, they have been absolutely brilliant.
But would you agree, Ishfaq? The Hyderabad we saw last season, there was a sense of free flowing, and it moved fast. They were moving in front very fast. From the Hyderabad we saw over these 2 legs, it seemed like a team that did not control the game. It more seemed like a team which is goal बचा रही थी. Structurally they were there, labor मार रहे थे, पर वो आगे जाके वो ज़्यादा वो दिख नहीं रहा था.
I feel, आज थोड़ा बहुत attacking wise was little bit, not up to the mark, but we have played against them, so I know how good they are. So they are otherwise really good. They can control. Their Indian players are performing very well. You see, Sahil Trivora was brilliant today. I think one of the top Indian player today in the match. He worked hard. He played, showed a really good confidence. I was really happy. I have never seen playing him this good as he today. I think this was his one of the best match. The way he played, and then other players also under this coach, they are performing well. But yes, if I come to that point, what you mentioned, they were not what they were known for, like usually from last 2 seasons, how they control and even attacking set, like a lot of crosses used to come. I think there were a lot fewer crosses than usually what crosses usually you have from the Hyderabad team. A few of them came from, I think, Yasir, and what a player Yasir has,
प्लेयर है सर,
now developed in. I think
आज नहीं
top
देखा,
class.
पर प्लेयर है.
But you still see वो ball रोकता है, कोई problem नहीं. He is one player who is so confident, fantastic left foot. Maybe like big occasion, like he's still starting his career, and in sooner and later he will have these big matches under his belt, and then he will be a really good player in future. I really like him.
बाय द वे, क्योंकि हमारे भाई रेनेडी भाई, हमारी टीम आ रही है आपके पास वहाँ पे कुछ टाइम में मैचेस खेलने के लिए, पर ये गेंजोलियन ने बड़ा अच्छा पॉइंट मारा है, बिकॉज व्हाट सेड टिल नाउ इज दैट हु इज प्लेइंग इन द फाइनल विल नॉट बी फीचरिंग इन दोस गेम्स. दैट मींस नो छेत्री, झिंगन, रोशन, सुरेश, and there's Manveer also, there's Liston also. If that is the case,
well, when is the final? When is the final? 15th, right?
Final is on the 18th, Renedy bhai, because so far the comment that's come from the camp or the coach, the comment that's come from the coach, the latest comment that's come from the coach is that whoever is playing in the ISL final, I will not take them to play the friendlies in Manipur, the friendly tournament.
There are 2 matches, right?
I don't know about that, but I read that they won't play them then. They'll rest them. उनको rest मिलेगा.
I thought
when are the matches?
Starting 11 में नहीं खिलाएंगे.
22nd
matches कौन से dates पे?
22nd, Renedy bhai, when is it from?
It looks like it's 22nd, right? I'm not sure about it.
There are 3 matches.
Match it makes sense also, na?
पहले
like,
match में.
You cannot afford injury also.
That's what I thought. पहले match के लिए बोल रहे हैं. Just that starting 11 will be different from the guys who play the ISL final, and then after that, depending on who is how fit, they'll see how it goes. Also, I guess they are playing a home tournament. They want to win it. I don't know.
सर, उससे बड़ी बात हो ही नहीं सकती फ्रॉम इंडियन फुटबॉल टीम. जब आप घर पे खेल रहे हो, इससे बेहतर नंबर नहीं है फॉलोअर कमाने का, सब्सक्राइबर कमाने का. मैं मतलब हमारे टर्म्स में बोल रहा हूँ. क्योंकि आप घर पे जीतोगे तो आपके बंदे चिपकेंगे आपके साथ. इससे बेहतर कोई मौका ही नहीं है. वो भी मणिपुर में मुकाबला होने वाला है, तो मतलब वहां पे तो मतलब एक नॉलेजेबल क्राउड आएगी देखने के लिए, पैशनेट क्राउड आएगी देखने के लिए. You add that to you winning games, and just see what you're projecting to the rest of the country. It'll be huge. Renedy bhai, that tournament coming up, huh?
Yeah, it will be a great thing for Manipur. Manipur में ज़्यादा matches नहीं मिलता है, but finally Indian team, the senior Indian team is coming. मेरा ज़माने में तो देखा ही नहीं या मिला ही नहीं, but then now the current national team will be playing here in Manipur. It's a big thing for the people here in Manipur. And Myanmar आ रहा, तो Myanmar is not far away from Manipur. So it will be great. And Kyrgyzstan is a good team.
home only.
नहीं, किर्गिस्तान अच्छी टीम है सर. These are all म्यांमार, किर्गिस्तान, these are all teams जो गेम खेलती हैं, गेम चला सकती हैं बड़ी अच्छी तरह यहाँ पे. और ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब
खराब नहीं, physically बहुत tough.
Kyrgyzstan is a good side. It's a good side. But I don't know वो लोग full team आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है, but it's a good side.
Physically मतलब. और मणिपुर में भाई weather कैसा होगा उस टाइम पे?
It's a good weather now. बारिश में पानी का कमी है, लेकिन it's a good weather. It's not very hot like other parts in India. Evening में jacket है, so इतना खराब नहीं है मणिपुर. It's a good weather.
But रेनेडी भाई, यहाँ पे ये देखिए माइंडसेट हमारा भाई, उसने थोड़ा क्लैरिटी लिया है. 22 को पहला मुकाबला है, लेकिन इंडिया's first match 25th. So 18th is you're playing in Goa.
There's a lot of time.
There's a lot of time. lot of time.
तो
I'm
मतलब
sure coach
पूरी 11
will
खिलाओ
do
ना फिर,
some.
पूरी 11
Like
खिलाओ.
it's all depend on the coach, but there's still time. I feel. वो लोग
No, but I'm saying
celebration जो
travel
जीतेगा
from Goa
celebration
to
के बाद जा
Manipur.
सकता है.
But Renedy,
You can reach
Goa
on
to
the same
Manipur.
day. You can reach on the same day.
Travel
There's
to
no problem.
Kolkata and Kolkata se flight.
Kolkata,
Goa.
So there are 13, 14 flights every day, so not a problem. Traveling is not a problem to Manipur.
क्लासिक होटल में रहना पड़ेगा और किधर रहना पड़ेगा.
क्लासिक का एडवर्टाइजमेंट चल रहा है.
Yeah. हमारा भाई भी तो जा रहा है, हमारा भाई 420 ग्राम्स का सिपाही. हाँ जी भैया, टिकट बुक कर ली ना आपने सर?
Not yet, yeah. But हो जाएगा.
अरे ट्रेन में जाओ भाई, कोई बात नहीं.
We're just waiting for them to also finalize the dates. I've been asking them for a while because this doubt has existed. The FIFA dates are something else. जो पहले डेट अनाउंस हुआ था मैचेस का वो कुछ और है. तो अब 3 मैच डेज हैं, 22, 25 और 28. 22nd, 25th, 28th. उसमें से I guess India will play the second 2 days. But again, we don't know exactly what the draw is, who will play who.
25th, India is playing 25th, 28th India is playing.
Yeah.
So ये आप देख लो, यहाँ पे अनुराग के इस मैंने चला दिया है, उसका कमेंट क्लासिक इज द बेस्ट होटल इन मणिपुर. जय माता दी. इट्स अ गुड टाइम but यहाँ पे coming back to the final, Renedy bhai, what do you suppose? It's still going to be the same kind of final? You'd expect the game, Mohun Bagan will take the game to Bengaluru. Bengaluru is going to sit back and do what's been working for them for so long.
The final, it's always a KJ affair, you see. It will still be the same. Both the team will respect each other till the first goal. And then the game will open up. They're not going to go all out, you know. So it will always be a KG game for me. And the way Bengaluru plays, we have seen that. Of course, yes, they have done well, but Mumbai were attacking all out. So now I feel that ATK will attack more the way it's going. So defend, and Bengaluru they want to defend and go on counter attack, and which what they will do the same. And Ishfaq will know better because he has been there.
Ishfaq, were you surprised he took out Bumu and brought in Galejo within the first 90 only? Because if anyone is making inroads into the Hyderabad, अगर कुछ spark दिख रहा था, तो वो तो Bumu ही दिखा रहा है.
Honestly, I was surprised from the other side also. Manolo not taking Bhatt out and keeping him. Maybe there were, like injury concerns. You never know what was, like there, because Borja was playing really good in midfield. And yes, I think change was like little bit surprising, but like you need fresh legs because both the coaches wanted, like fresh legs inside the pitch. And at that time, nobody wanted to go to the extra time. They want to finish it because it's, like as I was listening to Manolo coach also, he said like in extra time, both the teams were almost, like dead. They were very, very tired, and you could see that, like, and I think changes, like what changes he made, even if Gallego coming, but it didn't have that effect. But still, by that time, ATK was still looking dominant. Like they were creating on and off chances. Yeah. And as Renedy Bhai said, Damjanovic should have scored from that header also. And then Namte's that shot, like upright. I think the better chances fell for ATK Mohun Bagan. Clearly, I don't think in first half there was a on target shot for Hyderabad. But when you are playing away from the match, I think you are more like you try to be cautious, and I think that's what Hyderabad did, and they stretched game till the last 120 minute, and like tiebreaker can be some like anybody. Last time it was not our day; it was Hyderabad's day in finals, and this time unfortunately it was not Hyderabad's day. Like it's lottery. Like sometimes like Bath, you put always money on Bath, but he missed it. He hit the upright, and that was, I think, that penalty was a turning point. Had that gone in, because then there was a one miss by ATK player also. I think Brendan Hamill, I think. he missed also. And overall, I think, as Renedy said, these big matches sometimes can be really cagey. It feels like nobody wants to concede first. As Renedy rightly said, Renedy asked, how is it about the BFC? Like they will sit down because that's what has been working for them.
Yeah,
They will defend, and then they will wait for counter attack. You will be surprised. There won't be many touches, even if when you will see yesterday's match. In regular time, there were more than 300 touches more by Mumbai City.
Mumbai.
But
Yeah.
but that's the style of as of now. What BFC prefers to play. They like to sit down and defend with
But
those
sir,
three big guys.
isn't that the scary thing, Ishwak, from a coaching perspective? That you have a team that knows that it's got 300 less touches. They say we don't care. ये तो अपना style है. So they know exactly what they have to do. This is the way we
Yes,
play,
even
and this is what
I
we're going
was
to do.
They also last few minutes of the previous game, they also tried to play four at the back, kind of change the shape up a bit, push a little bit. I don't know if
I
that
think my
showed
other team was tired. That's why.
Brother,
Sure.
if they change now, jitna bhi football khelo, they have playing the same game, they have reached the final. If they change now, playing like tiki-taka
That
or
will be
playing
disaster.
open football, that will be a disaster. So BFC should go the same way how it is. Uska game अच्छा हो या ना हो जीतने का है. A final is like that. अभी उसको
जीतना
change
है.
मत करो.
Can
Abhi they were
I
struggling
ask
to
you?
play that attacking, free-flowing football. Nahi hoga, but the way they have been playing, they have been getting results, so they should continue, stick the same. And especially with a team like Bagan.
And Renedy, you are right. I think what has been working with them, those three big guys behind, they have been working really hard. I think even if you see Sunil, what he's saying, and if you ask me, because we played 3 matches with them, the first match which we won, other than that, those 2 second match, they sit back, they work really hard, especially their wings. They go up and down, and they defend. They have been defending very well. You have to give that credit to them. It's sometimes we always, not sometimes we always say defense makes you win the tournaments. And as of now, both, in fact, for ATK Mohun Bagan, this Vishal has 11 clean sheets, I think, this season. So that's a fabulous record to have under your belt. I think that has been the key for the teams.
Yeah, see, I really like the way Mumbai plays free-flowing football. What a game! But are they in final? No. Are they in final? Not at all. So by playing the good game, if you're not in final, nobody. So please, Bengaluru should continue doing the same. And I know that many people has been saying that Bengaluru should play a better football. No, I feel it's all about result. अच्छा खेल के अगर result नहीं आएगा.
पर रेडी भाई आपने एक बड़ी अच्छी बात बोली. सो मैं उसको बात थोड़ी आगे ले जाता हूँ एज अ नटखट बालक. क्योंकि हम हैं थोड़ा यहाँ पे नटखटिया करते हैं हम लोग. जिस किस्म की फुटबॉल ये खेल रहे हैं अंडर साइमन ग्रेसन, and let's assume कि I have not seen in a tournament where you've gone 12 games unbeaten till the end, till the final. You do it in the middle of a season or something happens. I have not seen this. It's very rare that I've seen something like this. But the football on display hasn't been the most pleasing to watch. I think we can all agree over it. It's not been the most pleasing to watch. So even if they go and win it, do we see Simon Grayson continue? Why? Because do I see Manolo Marquez continue for Hyderabad? मेरगुलाव साहब ने ट्वीट डाला था वहां पे, हम पढ़ते हैं मेरगुलाव साहब को, उन्होंने डाला था 5 teams are after him. उनमें से एक तो बेंगलुरु होगा क्योंकि रोका साहब आ गए वहां पे. He is coming to the management and Roka साहब knows Manolo Marquez very well. Would it make sense to you that going forward, irrespective of what Bengaluru does, that this will be that one-off season where you've done it in some different kind of way, but you've done it and it's crazy. You won't forget it. It'll be one of those seasons, irrespective of the result, that we won't see Simon Grayson next season. And we'll possibly see a new change coming in next season.
Brother, you, say suppose our owner have the FC ka. A coach, if he wins a final, will you take him out first, right? But will you take him out again? And after that, do they have Manolo? I feel Manolo is one of the best coaches. I really like him. Whatever, like I mentioned before, whatever he has done for Hyderabad, I feel he should even someday come as an Indian team coach. I feel that he's so good. आपने बोला कि mention किया कि Hyderabad is no more the same. I totally agree with that. Hyderabad 2 years back, 1 year back, the way they were playing, it's not the same. If they could continue playing the same, today they could have won against Bagan easily, but they are not the same. So yes, after winning BFC coach, after winning the league, I doubt it will be very, very difficult to again. Agar Manolo udhar lata bhi, there is no guarantee that the players that they have, वो मनोलो का
तो
स्टाइल
बदलना
फुटबॉल
पड़ेगा
खेलने के
रेनेडी
लिए
भाई।
अब वो बदलना पड़ेगा, लेकिन प्लेयर्स हु हैव साइन फॉर 3-4 इयर्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट उसका आप कैसा निकालोगे, right? So then आप जैसा आपने गोवा का बारे में बोला है, गोवा, the coach of ATK right now, when he was in Goa, they were playing attacking good brand of football. Can he do the same here? I mean, they have been lucky to some extent to reach here, all due respect, but today they have done well. They are in the final now. Everyone will be like, oh, खराब होने से भी now we are in the final. But then he have struggled. He was struggling a big time. So now bringing in coaches,
उनको 5 साल चाहिए
it
ना
can be
रेनेडी भाई,
difficult
उनको
also.
5 साल चाहिए।
But at the same time, Manolo is a very, very sensible, smart coach. वो कहीं भी चला लेता है. अगर हैदराबाद टीम को चला लिया, वो कोई भी प्ले टीम देगा, I feel he can do it.
Yeah.
He adapt to the situation. He is one coach कि ऐसा खेलना ही नहीं है उसका. He has got a vast experience. He has got so big experience that it's easy for him. But I doubt that they will change after if they win the league. But you never know. You never know.
What do you say, Ishfaq? Because if Manolo's in the market, that's a big name, irrespective of what your season may go by. That's a big name because he brings a philosophy and a style that's completely different from what you're playing.
You already said 5 teams are behind him, so he is coach in demand. Why not? He has done wonderful job in both seasons. But Renedy Bhai said, like, even when you play against them, I have played against them. We have seen, they are playing wonderful brand of football, and he's a very matured coach. He knows what he wants from the player. And as I earlier also I mentioned that some of the Indian players are playing best football under him. I think any team would like to have, the clubs which are looking for a new coach, definitely he will be under their order for sure, I think. But as Renedy Bhai said, if you win ISL or even reach to the final, for me, do you dare to change a coach? Sometimes it happens, but
I doubt.
Would you? I'm saying, with what you're seeing, my only question is, from an owner's perspective, is will you be able to pull off another season like this with this kind of football? It's a simple question. Will you be able to do it? And if you have your answer, then you know.
No, but then you have to give coach time also, na? Like then it comes again by अगर आपने ये सीजन में कोच लाया, उसने फाइनल तक पहुंचाया, तो फिर चेंज कहाँ से बनता है? I'm just telling, it's not any. I'm telling any other team. It can happen with any other team. So, it's bit unfair with the coach also, na?
Yeah, of course.
You will say that they are playing a different band, but that is if they are winning, who cares sometimes?
If you see the reaction they showed, I think, on social media and even on the television, of Park Jindal to the final whistle when the game ended.
भाई आप ट्विटर पे हैं? आप ट्विटर पे हैं?
नहीं है ट्विटर पे.
तो कहाँ से देख रहे हैं आप ये?
नहीं, ये
कैसे देख रहे हैं आप?
इंस्टाग्राम पे भी आता है, टीवी पे भी दिखाते हैं. तो लाइक
भाई जासूस छोड़ के रखे हैं भाई ने.
हाँ,
जासूस छोड़े हुए, वही मैं कह रहा हूँ. हाँ. आर्यन 12456. हाँ जी भाई, सॉरी.
क्या बोल रहे थे आप?
नहीं, मैं कह रहा कि अगर like that kind of reaction doesn't look like the team ownership is unhappy with the kind of run that
you could also be letting out. You could also be letting out, because let's not
forget
the 12 wins. Before the 12 wins, you were nowhere.
Right.
So
12 wins in a row already is a league record, I think. I don't think any team has won 12 in a row.
Yes, they've broken Mumbai's only 11 tha, I think, this season.
So now, over and above everything else, right? You are theoretically on a record-breaking run. Would you risk that? Why? Like, if it's a young league, you're building something, you're starting something.
You think you can do the same next season with this kind of football? Maybe not 12, but you can go again and challenge for the title next season.
I would say that
with
you
the
can
same
do
players.
I would say you can do it even better. you have a transfer season between now and next season. You can build around this style of football, and no one is. I don't think like anyone who watches the Italian league will, for example, say that it's very possible to play this kind of football and win the league not just 1 year but year after year after year after year. Why not? And also, I mean, you in the whole coach conversation, we have to consider that. I think, no disrespect to anyone, but Simon, Grayson. It's also a little bit up to him how much time he wants to spend in this league, because he is an experienced coach who I think has had reasonable prospects, at least at the championship type level, right? Which is quite decent for European standards of football to be a head coach at that level. So maybe he has other offers coming in. I don't know. Those things. So either you sign someone on for a long term. It would be good to hear from a club that a coach is like the kind of maybe support, let's say, Des Buckingham had when he came in, or at least it was told. Right?
Emotion निकाल दो ना सर बाहर. Emotion निकाल दो बाहर. I am saying, अगर आप एक coach
Emotion नहीं है, project की बात है ना यार.
Project. So do you see this project succeeding in year 2? Is the simple question. The way this project is operating right now. A very simple thing. Do you see it with the same kind of players? Or adding a few players here?
It will be difficult. It will be difficult. Of course, the good run is gone now. You have to change the player. But where do we have players in India? I'm sure Darren Caldera has been working really hard to sign a new players. But where are the new players? Ishfaq will know better about signing players, because Ishfaq का पूरा बाल उड़ने वाला है player ढूंढने में. So there are hardly any players to play that style of game, to play a good brand of football. I'm sure everyone, all the sports director, are working really hard to search for a good player. But where are the players? अभी I-League से दो चार बच्चा लेगा, 5 बच्चा लेगा. But are they good enough to create that winning team in the first year itself? No. And the BFC play, a lot of players are aging at the same time. Of course, Sunil, whatever he has done, उसके बाद फिर Roy Krishna, will he still be the same? And Sundays will he still can continue with the same amount?
Their trajectory is going down.
So there are many things. I'm sure the sports directors, they have been traveling around trying to sign players, looking at the players. It's not going to be easy. But yes, the good run is going on. They should continue with that. All good luck. But let's see.
That's what I'm saying, right? So if you look at it just from a one more season perspective, right? Given all of these factors, because let's also consider that these are big money contracts. Sunil Chhetri, Roy Krishna, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, Sanjay Jhingan, they are all big money contracts, right? Even I would say at this point, who's playing at the back? Anyway, a lot of big money players. So
Renedy is playing at the back.
You can't just, even if you want to, you can't sign on so many players or spend a lot of money because your money is already allocated. So if it goes for one more season where they can build some kind of...
I wouldn't have brought this out if Mr. Marquez was apparently not in the market. It's a very simple thing. If Mr. Marquez is in the market, are you even going to say that I'm not going to engage in the conversation? I'm not even going to engage in the thought of maybe I need to change.
Now, Renedy has put the cat among the pigeons now, because he said Indian coach. Now, Mr. Srimash, we all know, is not continuing after the Asian Cup. So that's another job that's going to open up. So if it opens up...
I feel that will be great. If Manolo becomes, like Ishfaq said, I think it will be good because he understands the Indian players so well. And he's a good coach. And we all have seen for the last 2 years, a mediocre player turning into a good player. That's the quality of a coach. So yes, I'll be happy to see him as an Indian coach, more than any ISL.
Can I say Mr. Marquez follows 420 grams FYI? And it's his official account. Manolo sir, thank you so much for that. So Ishfaq, आपके जितने भी interactions हुए हैं,
AFF follows so that they can take these suggestions on board.
You mean Jaideep? सब पूछ रहे हैं where is Jaideep? Just go to Dwarka House. वहाँ पे एक बहुत बड़ा फुटबॉल है. उसको अगर आप मारोगे आपका पैर टूटेगा, पर वो है फुटबॉल हाउस. वहाँ पे जयदीप बैठते हैं Monday to Friday. आप उनसे बात कर सकते हैं. Ishfaq, how is he as a personality? Manolo, because coach की personality, technical side, knowledge is one side. Personality.
Very, very, very good. I always have a that moment before match. He always chats. He's a really wonderful human being, as whatever interaction I had with him. And the best thing about him is very honest, straight up to the face, very honest. Whatever he feels, he will tell you. Even if you see his interviews, he's very honest. He's not scared of giving some credit to the opponents also sometimes, that has been, you know, like a major point in his personality, being very honest. And I have seen him, getting angry with on foreign players in some matches, where a lot of coaches, not they try to not to get engaged with the foreign players, but he for him, there has been, even our coach mentioned this many times during the trainings, that he has been, keeping that balance where Indian should not feel like that's the coaching, philosophy and man management he has. I think he controls group very well, whether it's players or whether it's coaching staff or non-technical staff. I think in that way he has been brilliant. And results you have seen in last year, they were up there. They won the cup, and then they were very close to win the shield also. And this season they qualified with Mumbai, like 1 month ago for the semifinals. I think for Mumbai and Hyderabad, that might be the curse, which they qualified earlier and they had to wait for the matches. Then other teams, having that winning momentum, continuously playing, that might have worked against them, honestly.
It
Otherwise,
actually
when
breaks
it's,
momentum. You reckon it
yes,
breaks momentum?
I definitely,
Because
definitely
the
it
other side
breaks.
is you're getting fresh. आप body recovery मिल रही है, fresh हो रहे हो आप.
Because see, if I tell you, Mumbai finished their last match around 20th, last month 20th, and then they had a break, and where other teams were playing continuously. It's not. And then you see, then they had tried out few things also, and then they lost the match against Bengaluru also, and even in with East Bengal also. So sometimes these things can be tricky, they might get you in a that relaxing mode where first 11 teams are not playing, they are only training, no matches, and can work against you sometimes.
Interesting. भाई Annie भाई, from an optics point of view, आप mute हो sir. आप mute हो. From
I
an
actually
optics point
wanted.
of view,
Uh,
a rivalry that sort of picked up in the I League, that is Bengaluru versus Bagan. Now it's ATK Bagan, is back at the fore now, and from that sense, you would reckon that both sides would be well represented in Goa, and you would expect a good, at least from an optical point of view, it would look like a good final. क्या गेम होगा, कैसा गेम होगा, I think everyone can predict. You don't need to be a Renedy Singh or an Ishfaq Ahmed to sit and say कि जी Bengaluru ये करेगा वो करेगा. It's pretty simple. Bengaluru is going to sit back, play the kind of football they've been playing, and Bagan is the one who's got the onus to try and open them. But it's the surround sound for that final. It should uplift to another level, because purely because of the rivalry these two teams have had and the kind of supporters these two teams have.
Yeah, already I think people are saying how many sort of Bangalore West Block Blues members are already decided to travel to the final. I'm sure that number will go up. I think among traveling fans right now, numbers won't be so large, but they'll be, both sides will be well represented with local fans anyway. Like Goa has, I think, enough people from both Bangalore as well as Calcutta to be well represented in the stadium, plus 1,000 or so traveling fans from each side. I actually think it's a great idea to try and have the final in one of the places where the teams are from. I don't know how they'll figure that out in terms of who will get the chance to host, because it's a bit last minute, I guess. But it's one more match. I think everyone has the capacity. The level of intensity and everything just, I think, would go up. versus having it in a neutral venue. So maybe that is something that the league can think about. But yeah, I mean, so many rivalries are building up, right? Like it's now what year close to 10 of this league is coming up, and rivalries are starting to develop apart from. So I guess this is the idea from which the league was founded, to break away from traditions and to say that not only East Bengal Mohun Bagan, football can be more rivalries, more cities, more kinds of people engaging with it. So that is emerging. But yeah, we saw the same. We are seeing the same thing happening with Kerala and Bangalore. So as clubs, continue to play a certain way, identify with their fan base, and obviously then get the results also. If you're not getting the results, you're not reaching the playoffs, you're not reaching this drama stage of the tournament, then perhaps it doesn't make so much of an impact. But while that's happening, I mean, like, बढ़िया है, I think इतना हम लोग को बात करने को मिला है just in the 3-4 matches that we've covered in the league.
in a league that had close to about, I don't know how many we've done, 3-4. डंडोरे
No,
पीट रहे
no,
हैं हम अपनी.
ठीक है, वो तो चलो.
वो तो मैं by the way मैं आपको बता दूं, the comment of last
No,
night
but
was
interesting. Actually, I want to ask all of you guys a question, because we are now going into an international break where we'll see India playing after a long while, actually, and also perhaps like leading up to the Asian Cup, we'll get a sense of how the coach might approach the situation, what are the players, how they fit into the national system.
you're still
So,
there. How, what? अब तक तो हो जाना चाहिए भाई, कहानी
नहीं,
sort हो
मैं
जानी
वही
चाहिए.
पूछना चाह रहा था. फ्रॉम दिस लॉट जो हमने अभी देखा है, and everyone playing different styles, like Bangalore playing defensive with Sandesh over there, different players, Roshan, fitting into that left back role quite nicely, actually, I think. So competition developing for a couple of places. How are you guys looking at the national team shaping up for these two matches that are coming?
रेंडी भाई?
Yeah.
हमारे
About the
भाई ने
players,
इतना बड़ा
about the play,
Yeah.
okay, about the players playing different style of game, but then the players who has been selected are all players who have trained with the Indian team coach. So players
So
will
they know.
have to adapt, and so they know. There is no player that says कि वो नया आ रहा है, ये आ रहा है. They have been playing with the current Indian team, so they have to adapt. For any players, they have to adapt whoever the coach that they're training into. So they don't have to worry.
What are you looking forward to, Randy bhai? Come the Indian team to Manipur, and of course, the beauty of it is they're playing in Manipur. That is one thing. You'll be there. You'll be watching them on the field. What are you expecting from the team? Are you expecting
Playing
too
after,
much?
no, I'm not expecting too much. Playing after a long break, it will be difficult to come and get. Some of the players who are playing on final will be fit, semi-final, but आगे जो निकल गया, there are so many players who have gone out from ISL. They will not be as fit as what the दो final or semi-final जो खेला होगा. But yes, of course, वो लोग physically fit तो होगा, match fit होगा कि नहीं, and Kyrgyzstan is not a bad team. Even Myanmar इतना
Yeah,
खराब नहीं होगा. So it's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be easy one. As we have seen, Bangladesh ने इतना fight करके गया. So for the players, I'm not expecting too much, but I'm at least looking forward to have a good fight at least. इतना overconfident नहीं होना चाहिए. So
Ishfaq, ये सवाल एक अच्छा आया है. ये आप ही के लिए बोल देता हूँ. This is question I wanted to ask you also because you've been following. Any new talent this season you see breaking into the team, because you're now into that final year before the Asian Cup. अभी भी अब क्या मतलब आपको कुछ दिखा है लड़का कोई?
Well, there are few guys, but I think most of them have been called earlier also in camp. There is this this guy Vibin from Kerala, but he was anyways part of under 20 national team and all that, so he has pedigree. He has a big engine who like in last two matches for us, he ran somewhere around 12 kilometers per match, and he just 19 plus. And but he was the part of Arrows and playing like a lot of matches for them. And the other guys, I think there are a couple of guys from Orissa also, they have been doing quite well. And I like Rainier also doing well, but he has been in the camp and he has been doing quite well.
Ishfaq, what do you think about Shiva Sakti? Is it too early for him? But I feel he have done well. That guy,
Honestly,
it looks like, yeah.
he's a very nippy guy. I spoke to him. I was talking to coach also. He was a very nippy. He gets into very, very good position.
Yeah.
He's physically a little weak, but
Yeah.
if he gives you a goal, why not? I don't think I don't think he's ready, but I think he deserves a call also,
Yeah.
and maybe to see him where he is and let him feel that at least in the camp, he has been playing in first 11. He has been picked before Sunil now. We should not forget that also. And why not? He has done really good for himself, and there is nothing wrong in checking him in or giving him that taste in camp with the big guys and everything. That's how you. That's how you
that will be
prepare.
a good. Yeah, brother, I feel that will be a good idea because I feel whatever I've seen, I think he have done well. And to call up for a camp like Bob Houghton did with Gurpreet, or Anwar calling for a camp 15 or a month and sending him in back, not putting in the team time and again. And after 5-6 months, bring him. So Shiva Sakti physically, it's not ready. I can see that, but that positioning, I totally agree. And the run that he makes,
totally.
Don't just go by the physical. Otherwise, a bodybuilder log aa jayenge. So if he's technically good, why not? Call up for a camp and check out.
He's nippy. He goes into good places. Because we already have played against them. Physically, he's weak, not ready for the international matches. But I totally agree. Why not call him for the camp and see? Give him that taste of the camp with the players. Make him feel. Make him feel worth because he had done hard work. He had done good for himself.
The boy I'm talking about right now, I'm not saying call him for the Indian team. Robbie, अभी दिखा उसने उसको डाला at the end of the game, and from whatever little I saw a guy who was charging on, taking on players. Robbie, Kerala Malappuram का player है, मैंने थोड़ा
the winger,
he was the part
the
of
winger.
He was the part of. Oh, I know that he's fast. I think somebody mentioned a very good name, Mehtab Singh. I think definitely deserve a chance.
So actually, if we are talking national team, you suppose the real how do I say additions that are needed in terms of freshness is in defense?
You need anyways players in defense by.
No, I'm saying in terms of what your current lineup is. That is संदेश जिंगन हो गए, आपका प्रीतम हो गया वहां पे, आपका
all the middle positions, no?
सुभाशीष हो गया वहां पे. मैं कह रहा हूं कि ये लड़के जो हैं इनकी ट्रेजेक्टरी अब अपवर्ड्स नहीं है, अब ट्रेजेक्टरी ऐसी है थोड़ी. You suppose it's time now that the national team needs to set in two defenders now. Some really sorry. आपके मेहताब का नाम लिया, prime candidate over there. Any other defenders you've seen? Roshan is of course.
He has been playing all the matches. By I think for me, you see the wonderful goal. He is really good in here, really good in here. And one of the of late I have seen any Indian defenders who is really good in the air, not only while defending but in attacking also. तो मुझे लगता है कि उसने काफी अच्छा खेला और अच्छा खेल रहा है with the he is playing with the team who are playing and I feel same. The players who have done well, they deserve chance into camp. Like as Renedy was saying, that's how you prepare the future players. When you bring them there, unko give them that taste. Maybe don't play them in the first camp. Call them again. Then see how they will do, because you cannot expect a young player to come and fit in national team player and perform, because in Renedy will tell you international football is completely different than this and club football. But there is nothing wrong bringing players who have done well in the league. Call them for the camp. They will rub their shoulders with the seniors, and seniors will feel a little bit edgy, and that might push them also, because there are players available now.
So Renedy bhai, would I be right in saying that this is your next batch of defenders who are going to carry the team for the next 4-5 years. Let's say you have Roshan, you have Anwar Ali, you have Mehtab, you have your this boy who was playing on the right flank for Mohun Bagan, Ashish Rai, Sana. Ashish Rai, Sana, Akash Mishra is there, another one. It's around these guys, I'm guessing. Stopper back में I'm still thinking कि कहाँ है stopper back आपके पास? Because full back में already Prabir Das आगे
Anwar or Mehtab
है भाई, Anwar और Mehtab है, these guys are there. Sana is there. So you have new young players there. I think Anwar is like for me, he can play, he can defend, and he's still young. He's a strong lad also. Trust me, he can compete with the big guys.
Okay. Gentlemen, we've actually हमारा जो but true to our trajectory also, हमने हमारा जो YouTube का जो banner है, जो भी आपका होता है, उस पे लिखा हुआ ISL final बेंगलुरु वर्सेस ATK मोहन बगान. पर हमने हर सब चीज़ की बात कर ली है. फाइनल की थोड़ी सी हमने बात करी है, तो अब मैं एंड कर रहा हूँ शो, क्योंकि 50 मिनट कर लिया हमने. रेनेडी भाई को झूठ बोल के रोक दिया कि हम 30 मिनट का शो करते हैं, और रेनेडी भाई द गलेबल लवली पर्सन ही इज, वो मान भी गए हमारी बात. तो रेनेडी भाई आप बताओ किसका पलड़ा भारी है?
इशफाक भी आ गया, you know, I wanted to, you know, do it just for 30 minutes. अपना कश्मीर भाई भी आ गया, तो सोचा थोड़ा सा अड्डा मार.
नहीं तो
इनको पता नहीं भाई हम लोग का कितना काम करना है.
दोनों कौन है फेवरेट? रेनेडी भाई कौन है फेवरेट?
Brother, there is no favorite as such. I think may the best team win, but I know it's going to be a good fight. काफी अच्छा fight होंगे, because दोनों team they were struggling, and now they have got a point to prove. Final जो भी होगा, I'm sure there are a lot of things going on in ATK also, as we all know. At the same time, even in Bengaluru, the way they were struggling, so it's the best time for both the teams to show that, you know, they're great. So it will be a good final as far as.
Renedy bhai, just the fact you've got two teams who were nowhere near reaching this come the middle of the season, up पहुंच गए. You
That's the beauty of the
KG
game.
affair to start with. You expect it to be a KG affair from the start, because no one wants to lose.
It will be. First of all, as we all know how Bengaluru is going to play, but at the same time, ATK would love to play out from the back and play that beautiful football, but Bengaluru will not allow that also. So it will be a good final, I'm sure.
Ishfaq?
But I think it's gonna be whoever plays good that day. Believe me, I will say one. Hopefully, no injuries to any team, but जिनका भी पूरा squad available होगा, I think that will edge, because last match में I remember I saw Roshan coming out with the already heavy strapping on his quadricep and thigh, because him and Prabir has been really like two guys who have been working really hard for this team, and I think that has been key to their success also, because they are like really, they have really good engine and delivering those crosses and everything on the counter attacks. And as Renedy bhai say, that the best team that day wins. That's it. And we wish all the best to both the teams. And
brother, Sunil Chhetri 15 मिनट के लिए आके फिर कुछ कर दिया तो प्रॉब्लम
हो जाएगा फिर.
But भाई,
सब जगह प्रॉब्लम कर
trust me, he has been very effective those 15. You see the touches also.
I was talking to him. He's not happy at all. भाई वो 15 मिनट नहीं, उसको और चाहिए 15 मिनट. So I'm sure he's been very effective, like Ishfaq said. Sunil has been very effective, but is he ready to play only 10-15 minutes? भाई वो खुश नहीं है, उसको 15 मिनट से और ज्यादा चाहिए. So वो कुछ भी कर सकता है.
लेकिन कभी-कभी क्योंकि थोड़ा जब एज होता है ना भाई, फिर 15 मिनट वार्म अप में ही लगते हैं.
सुनील मानेगा नहीं, वो बोलता है गोल मार रहा है और मारूंगा,
सर ये खास बात है उस खिलाड़ी की. आई थिंक ये जो प्यार है ना करने के लिए, अबे करना है, ये
भाई सेट पीसेस में भाई they will be dangerous.
Dangerous
By
है
the
ना
way,
Renedy भाई?
they yeah, that is where they will be, you know, like if
ये
they
लोग
will score.
सेट पीसेस में गोल मारते हैं ये लोग. देखो ये लोग का पास पे कितना गेम देख लो.
Set pieces mein they are dangerous because they have like really big guys, then Sunil also, and it's not
Very
easy
good.
to.
एनी भाई देखो, आपको अभी हमने क्या करवाया है, अभी हमने आपके लिए चलवा दिए फर्रे फ्रॉम द टू लेजेंड्स ऑन द शो. अब आपके पास आ रहा हूँ मैं, किस किस्म का गेम अब देखने वाले हो बताओ.
भाई मुझे ये सब नहीं पता है, मुझे इतना पता है एक्स्ट्रा टाइम नहीं चाहिए.
सही में यार बहुत बड़ा लंबा हो था. एक बंदे ने
90 मिनट में खत्म करो प्लीज.
हाँ, सही बात है यार, सही बात है. बट नहीं, टीवी वाले तो खुश होंगे, वो तो कह रहे हैं भाई चल रहा है अपना यहाँ पे मुकाबला, बिकॉज आई थिंक व्हेन दिस वेंट इनटू पेनल्टीज 2 lakhs plus 2 lakhs were watching at least on Hotstar, the Hyderabad versus ATK game. So that way it's good for them. But should be a good game. Should be an interesting game.
Even yesterday at the same time, I mean, the Premier League games are going on. Manchester United are playing. Arsenal are playing. People are much more larger numbers, at least on the app, are watching the playoffs than are watching those games. So yeah, lots of encouraging signs. Definitely for the club involved with the game, that like people care about this shit. So you know, we have to keep building on.
Fair point. रेनेडी भाई, इशफाक, क्योंकि मैं व्हाट्सएप पे आप लोगों को वो कहते नहीं, मुझे आजकल क्या हो क्या रहा है, पूरी दुनिया में सबको अनवांटेड कॉल्स आ रहे हैं, बड़े स्पैम चल रहे हैं अपेरेंटली, ये बड़ी खबर है. तो मैं आप लोगों को 1 or 2 days बिफोर द मैच मैं लगा रहता हूँ, सर आ जाइए आ जाइए आ जाइए. अब मैं वही आज ये कैमरे पे भी कर रहा हूँ, आ जाना प्लीज. सैटरडे 18 तारीख को चाहे जहां भी जाए, पेनल्टी के बाद भी खत्म हो जाए, प्लीज आ जाना. वो हमारा आखिरी यहाँ पे शो होगा और उसके बाद हमारा भाई पहुंच जाएगा मणिपुर, तो वहां से शो
करने
करेंगे.
के लिए.
वो तो नेशनल टीम को लेकर तो हम रेगुलर आ ही जाते हैं, बट ये सीजन का होप भाई ऐसे मत करना प्लीज.
नहीं मैं पहुंच जाऊंगा.
हाँ चले जाना भाई. ठीक है रेडी भाई, इशफाक, एनी भाई
के ऊपर है सब.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
मतलब वो कह रहा है रेडी भाई आपको टिकट भेजना है बेसिकली, दैट्स व्हाट ही मीन.
नहीं
ठीक है. Much love to all of you and thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again on the night of the final. Until then, much love to every one of you. Goodbye. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.